Hi everybody, it's Cindy the Scrapologist, and I'm doing a little experiment today trying to make some little booklets out of some of this old sewing paper that I have around. So I thought I'd just do it on camera in case anybody else is interested in doing this. On National Scrapbook Day, I did, well, a whole bunch of folded books. There's always too much glare. There we go. I did a whole bunch of folded books. I'll show you some of these later, and I might redo the video on YouTube because it's over on Facebook and some people are having a hard time finding it. But one of the things that I made was an X book, and I want to try to make that today and try to make some of these folded books out of old sewing pattern paper. So let me just move some things here out of my way. So I thought I'd just do it along with you in case anybody's interested. Maybe somebody else has already done this. I haven't seen any videos on it, so I'm kind of experimenting, but maybe you all already know about this and you can give me some tips. So on the folded books, I started with a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. So I'm just going to cut this down and straighten out my edges because you know on some patterns you get this. You don't always have a nice straight line. And let's see how big this is. Eight and a quarter. Alright, well I'm going to cut this piece down then, and I'll use this for something else. Usually when I'm doing something with the sewing paper, I iron it first. I'm not going to do that today. It's just too hot. Too hot to iron. And, oh, I've got a couple little holes here too, so I'll probably use this section. Oh, here's my smaller ruler. Okay, so, oh my goodness, I thought I was prepared, but I can't find anything. Here we go. I like to use some of my sewing supplies to cut too. So I'm going to put it here on my Fiskars cutting board. Go out 8.5 inches. And I like to use my rotor trimmer for this. If you use an X-Acto knife or something, sometimes if your X-Acto knife isn't perfectly sharp, it will just tear your paper. So that's 8.5. And let me just straighten out this edge here. Oh, I've got a hole there too. Darn it. Oh well, I'll keep doing it anyway. Just so you can get an idea of how to do this. And there's 11 inches. Okay. And of course I'll keep these for my junk journaling. So an 8.5 by 11 piece of sewing paper. On National Scrapbook Day, I used regular paper. So you can use any paper that's 8.5 by 11. You don't have to use this tissue paper. And we're making a booklet like this. So the first thing you want to do is you want to have it be horizontal on your board like this, and you're going to do some folding. We're going to fold it in half this way. Basically what I'm making is an X book. These books have been around for eons. They're kind of an origami book. I don't know if that's where they originated. Okay, so fold it in half that way and then open, and then fold it in half the other way. This is why I kind of like to iron it, because you have other creases that are already here from the paper being folded previously. So it makes it a little confusing sometimes. So let's make sure we get a really nice crease there. Okay, this time you're going to leave it closed. You're going to take this, and mine is not straight, but this is just for demonstration purposes. So pretend this is all pristine and perfect. So take this open edge here and just fold it back to your fold back here. Just give it a nice crease. And then flip it over and take your other open edge and fold it over to this fold. It's a little harder to work with than scrapbook paper, but it's still doable. Give it a nice crease. Okay, so basically when you open it up, you should have two valleys. See the crease from it already being folded. I should have ironed it, but two valleys and one mountain, right? So now we're going to take it and we're going to cut out. Perhaps I should draw on this one so you can see better. I can't even see my middle fold. There it is. Where did it go? Let me see. There it is. Let me fold it one more time because it's hard to see. Okay. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you can see the red lines. Let me see. Okay, see one down the middle here. And then there's one here, here, and here. So you should have 8 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, you know what? Here. I'll show you on this. That's a little easier to see. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to, excuse me, cut a line down the middle of these 2 center squares. Okay? All right, so now we have an opening in the middle there. And then what you're going to do is fold it back in half like this and push your hands together. Again, it's a lot easier with paper, but this is going to be pretty. Push your hands together until this comes together in the middle. There we go. And this is why it's called an X book. You see how it forms an X? So set it down and just try to neaten up your creases just a little bit. And you can always trim off anything that didn't come out nice and straight. And it's that simple. There is your book once you fold it all together. So again, just showing you with the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, we had this. You fold it in half. So you have it like this. You push it together. And see how it forms an X? And then you just fold it all together and you have a book. Here's one with paper that I made on National Scrapbook Day. And I just put a sticker on the front, and now I have a nice little book that I can put in a junk journal or a mini album or a scrapbook album. So that worked out pretty well. I would say it is a little more difficult working with this than regular paper, and also I did it backwards. So let's open it up and refold it because I want the pattern on the outside. There we go. Okay. Come on, you little thing. It's all creased the other way, so now it doesn't want to go. Okay. There. Well, my goodness. There we go. Actually, I like this. I'm going to put that on the front. So now we have a little book, and wouldn't that look wonderful in a junk journal? Just open it up. Now, I was experimenting, and I made another one. And I did a couple of things on this one. I sewed on it. Of course, it's sewing paper, so it takes a needle and thread very nicely, and goes through the sewing machine very nicely. I sewed on the outside. I also, you can also glue. Just take a glue stick and glue these together a little bit so it's more substantial. So just put a little bit of glue, a little glue stick on the inside there, and kind of stick it down so that you don't have openings. And you can do that for every one of these pages if you like. So I glued that down. So you can do that or not. You can sew on it. I sewed on the edge. I sewed on the back edge. And then in the very center, I sewed down the middle. If you can see that. Sewed down the middle. So this is a cute little book. I'm happy with it. Let me cut off some of these strings, and let's, I have some tea stained paper here, so let's just throw this onto a junk journal page. Let's see what we can do with it. So let's see here. I have some. You can either, no, it's too messy with all these strings. Usually I like strings, but not on all four corners. Trim some of these off. So you can stick it in a pocket or a tuck spot, but I think for this particular one, actually, I like that better. I am going to put glue stick on this last page and actually stick it to the page. So let me see if I can decorate it a little bit and maybe do some layering. I have some scraps here. This looks like Actually, that's the perfect size. It's going to cover over some of my stitching, but that's okay. You'll see the stitching on the inside when you open it. So I think I'll trim it down. Let me see. I'll do 2 1/4 by 4. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. There, I hope that's better. Okay. So I think that'll look pretty. But I don't like it just being a rectangle. I might just tear it a little bit. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that I really like to tear paper. And that if you tear towards you, it leaves a little bit of white. So when you ink it, it takes ink very nicely. And my favorite ink of all time, which is Tim Holtz's Vintage Photo. I use it on everything. See how nicely that takes the ink when you tear towards you? I've shown this before. I'm probably boring you showing you that over and over, but just in case you haven't seen one of my other videos. Ooh, I like that. I don't normally use glue stick, but I like it for this thinner kind of paper. It tends to not show through or bleed as much. Let's put that on here. Okay. What else? Do I want a doily? And oh, I have a little cardboard button with a butterfly on it, and this is a butterfly. That would be pretty on here somewhere. And here's another butterfly. I just finished a custom order and she wanted butterflies, so I have a lot of butterfly scraps left over. You know what I wish I had, but I don't have any right here, is some cheesecloth or something to put under here. But I do want to stain this a little bit. And I'm going to stain it on here because that kind of goes through and gives it a little doily effect. See how pretty that looks when you do that? Let's get that on there. I I think I need a little more doily action down here. Oh, there, I like that. Much better. And then this guy, I don't like rectangles. I think I'll use my 1/4" rounder. Ink this guy. I'm kind of putting it off to the side because I want it to be able to be opened like this. Of course I could put it over. I mean, it'll still open, but decisions. I definitely don't want it in the center. I'm going to put it off to the side because I like this. I think it gives it some dimensionality. All right, so I'm going to put the doily down. I'm committing to the doily. And I am going to put this guy down. Be careful not to tear it. And my little butterfly. And I need some thread. Thread in my button. No, let me go get a piece of ribbon. It's got really big holes in it. I think this is Graphic 45 from their botanical collection or something like that. And the holes are huge, so I'm going to get a ribbon. Okay, you guys have got to see this. My ribbon bin, I get ribbons at thrift stores. It is a mess. Everything else in my craft room is completely ordered and organized, but I can't figure out what to do with scraps of ribbon. Somebody help me. I need scrap ribbon therapy. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what to do with this, okay? I need you. Ooh, I like that. I think I'll put that through it. That'll give it some nice texture. Okay, you see what I do? So I go rooting through, I find what I want, and then it goes back in my big case here. Help me. Whoops. I'm dropping things and knocking into things. My husband and I just went for a 6-mile bike ride by the river, and I got a little overheated. And actually, let me drink some juice. So I'm clumsy. Let's see if this is too big to go through. I don't know if I want to go up through the bottom. Yeah, that'll probably work. I've told you guys before, I have so much overuse. I was a professional musician most of my life, a concert pianist, and my hands are shot. They're always swollen. Anytime I have to do any little fine work like this, it drives me crazy. I can't do bows anymore. Otherwise, I probably would do a bow. But I don't want to embarrass myself in front of you all. Nope, I'm not liking this. Let's see. I think I'll like it if there's just a little bit less. Okay, let's cut this up. I'm thinking about this way too much, aren't I? I should just glue it down. All right, I'm doing it. For this, I am going to use wet glue. Okay. I'm happy with that. And then here's my little booklet. We can even do some decorating on the inside of this. I have another little butterfly. I can fussy cut him out. I can't believe, you know, I have a butterfly book in my shop, mini album. It is my top selling book. Plus I get custom orders where people want butterflies. I can't believe how popular butterflies are. I love butterflies and I enjoy making the books, but I'm just surprised at how popular they are. Stick that little guy down. All right, I'm going to attempt to make a bow right in front of you all on the camera. I'm going to embarrass myself. Let's see if I can do it. I I just can't now. I can't do it. I can't do tiny. I have to get a bow maker. Another book. This is the piece with the sewing down the middle. I mean, not another book, another page. And I really like this idea for, I'm thinking of doing a sewing themed journal. And I really like this idea for that. Also here, later on, I might use this as a little tuck spot and put something in there because I put a little line of glue at the top here, so now I have a another little tuck spot. So there, I think that's it for now. And again, this is how it can look if you just do it with regular scrapbook paper. Use your 8.5 by 11 inch scraps. Here's just a plain yellow one that I did. I bought this paper. It was watercolor paper. I just bought it at Walmart, but I don't recommend it. It feathers. But it was good for demonstration purposes because it was already cut down to 8.5 by 11. But use your scraps. Let me show you what else I did on National Scrapbook Day, and you tell me, give me a comment down below and tell me what you would like a tutorial on next. One of the books that got a really a lot of positive comments. This is a mini book. Obviously the pages should be this long, but for demonstration purposes it was easier to do small pages. But this is a unique kind of hinge. The hinges are, this is all folded. There's no gluing, but the pages stay in. See? But they're all folded down. And you make it like this, and then you slip whatever size paper you want inside. And this is what you end up with. You can put chipboard on the outside. Again, this is a very, very smaller version because I was doing small on National Scrapbook Day. I had a lot going on. A lot of nice people commenting and asking questions. But so this is, we'll call it the folded hinge book. I'd do another tutorial on this if you're interested. I've already done, let's see. No, I also did this little twist book. Again, these are all just folded paper. This little twist book, you open it up. It has a little pocket, but you can also open it up like this and like this so that it folds up like this. Okay, and that's sort of a V pocket folded book. I could do a tutorial on that again. We made all kinds of things. What else? Let's see. Okay, then I made a little mini folded book with pockets. And again, this is just all folding techniques. Little pockets. Just made out of one sheet of paper. Look how cute. And here's a little mini version of that. That is really nice. This one has a little separate cover. It's really nice for putting little tickets in. I was thinking of maybe a gift for your loved one where each ticket you pull out is a different you give them this ticket and they have to do your dishes, or this one's good for a massage or something like that. So there's that one. A little folded book with pockets. And this is made out of one sheet of paper. I did this is just a demonstration because it should have string going around it, but I ran out of time. But it opens up, opens up, opens up, and opens up. And these are all photo mats. photo mats, or you can put a little tuck spot on them. So there's this one, again made out of one sheet of paper. And there's a gusset there so that you can so that there's room to put things inside. That's kind of like a, I don't know what to call this, kind of like a manila envelope sort of mini book. And well, there's a ton of other things in here that we did, but I think that's good enough for now. So if you're interested in me doing a tutorial on any of these, give me a comment down below. I want to know what you want a tutorial for next, because I don't want to inundate YouTube with things that everybody else is doing. So I want to try to bring you things that you haven't seen or that you need information on, something original, something fun. So please let me know and subscribe down below so you don't miss any of the videos. So thanks for crafting with me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.